Hi there and welcome back if you already follow my channel. Today I will use these old beautiful golf clubs, a couple, and a bag of clay and just make something totally different out of it. I hope you enjoy my video and that it might give you some inspiration to make something similar to this yourself. If you like my videos, please remember to subscribe. Okay, let's go into the video. The clay I use is stoneware clay, and I always start by wedging the clay to get rid of the air and to get the plasticity that I want in my clay. When the wedging is done, I start by pinching a bowl. Don't use too much water. You can dip your thumb and a little bit of your fingers, but don't soak the clay in water. Now, of course, this is speeded up, but if you want to see me make a pinching pot bowl, I have it in my videos. It's time to make the other pinching pot. This one is a little bit more cone shaped. Again, new clay, new wedging. The first pinching pot bowl is going to be the base for my sculpture. The second one is going to be the body. I use the surface and my fingers and my hands when I want to pinch out this bowl, and it's going to be a little bit more cone shaped than the base. You can roll it against your surface. I always have a wooden board because it doesn't stick to that. I make one more ventilation hole because it has to be air all the way from the base all the way up to the ears. Always when you attach two different pieces of clay, you need to score and to slip. The slip is the glue. After a lot of testing, I figured that this is going to be perfect. So I attach it and then with my tool make it stick really good. I make a coil and put slip on that too, and this is going to be some kind of a belt to cover up the joint of the two pieces of clay. It's now time for the head, so I pinch out that and I fit it on. You sometimes need to try a few different sizes before you are happy with the result. And of course, some more slip again. The clay I use has a lot of grog, so it's really good for building and sculpting. Now I'm happy with this head and the body, and it's really nice to have a turntable where you can put it to see it from all the different angles. You can bend it and shape it a lot, but remember, don't bend it so much that you cut off the airflow to all the ventilation holes. Now we need two ears, so I pinch them out. And then, of course, I have to figure out where to put them. Your sculpture has to be hollow all the way up to the ears. So I use this old straw to cut out the holes in the clay. And remember, you have to remove the excess clay if it sticks into the holes. Time again for some slipping and scoring, and then we attach the ears. If you forget to slip, it will probably fall off in the burning. So remember always, you need to slip and score. I use my own handmade tools, and if you want to see a video on that, I also have that in my channel. Now we are done with the pinching. So now it's time for some facial expressions, and this is fun in my opinion. Just by attaching small coils and pieces of clay, you can work out whatever you want. And I am going to make this mouse. So this is just the beginning of the face. So these are going to be the eyebrows. And now, time for the nose. When you make a nose, it's important that you actually don't get any air underneath it, otherwise it will fall off. So be really careful with that. And of course, some more slip. Next up are the two arms. So I roll out two coils and try to get them the same thickness and the same size, and I try them out on the mouse before I cut them. And then I make two hands. And remember to make one left and one right hand. This mouse has just one thumb and 3 fingers. Then, when I'm happy with the hands, I have to attach them to the arms. And of course, some slip again. And now it's really important that I make them stick. To secure it really properly, I roll out a small coil and I place it right over the hand. And it looks like gloves. And of course, I do the same thing with the second hand. Okay, so now this arm and hand is also done. You can probably see that I have a piece of plastic to work on right now. And it's really good because you don't want to move this mouse anymore. It has to be on the base where it actually can start drying. So now I attach the arms, and I also put a little bit of slip underneath the hand and attach it to the body. You might wonder what it says on the board. It says endast vita leror, and it means in Swedish only white clays. So in this studio we have a lot of different glazings, different tools and stuff and clays, and we don't want to mix them. So now I attach the second arm, and it's important, of course, to get them symmetrical. And I also put a little bit of slip underneath the hand again. This way I think that the arms and hands will have a better chance of holding, not cracking. I need some support just for a while. If you want to, you can put a little bit of moisture on the sponges so that they don't dry out the clay too fast. Now to the last piece before I'm done with this. I want to make the legs, or let's say where the legs should stick out. So these are actually the shorts. Slipping and scoring again, and attach them. Push hard enough so it sticks. I make a hole where the old golf clubs should sit, and I make them a little bit bigger than I think that I need. Because if they are too small, I get a problem. If they are too big, I can always fill that up. These holes are also really important because when you burn it, you need to get ventilation through the hole. Now I just attach the eyes and 2 buttons on the trunks, and then it's time to finish up. When I do the last finishes, I just use my fingers and a little bit of water. And after that, I just cover it in plastic and leave it to dry. And then I burn the whole thing in a kiln. Meanwhile, I prepare my golf clubs. I use an iron saw to cut them in 2 and try to get the right length. You can see it's snow and winter still in Finland, and it's April. Well, dried and burnt, fresh out of the kiln. This is now the final result, and I have my golf clubs, and I will just glue them into the holes. So let's see what it will look like. Now, this is just, of course, a test, but I think it looks really good. What I use then is epoxy glue, because it's a really good glue and it will stick and actually stay very long. So, this is what it is. Yeah, this is my version of a very famous mouse. My way. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, click the subscribe.